have reached the halfway point of the Mountain West Conference schedule. We're in San Diego tonight. Viejas Arena sold out for the 18th consecutive game. And if the Aztecs want to repeat as conference champs, they're going to need to hold serve tonight at home against a very good Boise State team. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Viejas Arena. Steve Bliss alongside Brad Holland. Let's put it out there on the line right now for Mountain West Conference fans. San Diego State has 3 conference losses. Boise State has 4 at the halfway point. The loser of this game, Brad, very well could be out of the conference race altogether.
You know, Steve, I think we can categorize this as a must-win for San Diego State. You know, they were picked to win the league. They're in 4th or 5th right now. So for them to elevate themselves up to the conference and have a chance to win the conference and get a top seed, this game is huge.
Boise State's a real good team. Tell us about some of the players we should look out for on the Broncos roster.
Well, they got the top-scoring tandem in the league, right? Anthony Dremick. He reminds me a lot of Manu Ginobili. You know, he's really crafty with the ball. He can drive and finish. He can also shoot the long ball. He's just got a really good overall offensive game. And then Derek Marks, the leading scorer for this Bronco team, really like his offensive game. He's got a really solid mid-range game. He's got the ability to create space and pull up and shoot jumpers, as well as go to the rack. And also, he can shoot with 3 at a high percentage. So overall, really good offensive player.
But here's the big storyline tonight. The most discussed back belongs to this young man, Xavier Thames. The Aztec point guard has missed 3 conference games with a lower back strain, and the Aztecs have lost 2 of those 3 games without X in that lineup, and he is not going to play again tonight. He will be in street clothes for the 4th time in conference play. So here are the Aztec starters. Chase Tapley practiced this week. The sprained right wrist is getting better. On Saturday, he gutted it out at Air Force. May have only gone 1 of 7 shooting, but did have 6 assists, a big steal late. Franklin, Rayhan, Stevens, and O'Brien are going to join Tapley in that starting 5 for Steve Fisher's San Diego State Aztecs, who are ranked 25th in the coaches poll this week. And Steve Fisher has never lost to Boise State. Perfect 4-0 lifetime while on the job here at San Diego State University. Meantime, the Broncos starting 5, a little different look. All 5 of these guys can score. Derek Marks and Anthony Dremick are the highest scoring duo in the conference, averaging 33 a night as a pair. Watkins, a terrific offensive rebounder. Aloriaga, the best at shooting threes in the Mountain West Conference. But Igor Hadziomarovich will not play tonight. He's sick, so Mikey Thompson is going to take his spot. As you look at Leon Rice in his 3rd season, 50 wins already on the job at Boise State, but 0 against the San Diego State Aztecs. Now the Aztecs take the floor in what is a must-win game here for both these squads. We can tell you the game before us just went final, and the Aztecs started play today in a 4th-place tie with UNLV, and they lost to Fresno State 64-55. I've been preaching all season that the Bulldogs of Fresno State were going to beat one of the big 3 on their floor, and they took care of UNLV.
What a prognosticator you are. No, that's a good call. And UNLV have dropped 2 in a row. That's news right there.
And New Mexico leads Air Force big, 75-56. Under 3 to go there at the pit in a battle for first place. So it looks like things are going to stay status quo at the top in the Mountain West Conference. So pressure on these 2 teams to win a basketball game here tonight. There's Dremick with the opening shot of the game. We talked about Watkins and his ability on the offensive glass. Got the board, but couldn't finish.
Well, San Diego State got away with one there. They got beat on a back cut and then 2 offensive rebounds, but it didn't result in any points to the Broncos.
Again, no Xavier Thames for the 4th conference game. Steve Fisher saying before the ball game they expect him in spot duty on Saturday against Fresno State. But in street clothes here tonight. Here's Tapley. Tapley with a drive and a great dish to O'Brien, and he scores.
Really good use of the high on-ball screen by Chase Tapley going to his left. He turned the corner, drew the defense, and great dish for a layup.
Again, Tapley will be playing with that sore right wrist. It is getting better. He practiced well, we're being told, on Monday and Tuesday, and he's ditched the brace in favor of a tape job by the trainers. In the corner, Thompson had it blocked by O'Brien, got it back, and came up short. And a foul, and they're going to get Derek Marks. Let's take a look at your keys to the game, Brad Holland.
Well, the Aztecs definitely want to limit threes from Orilaga and Drimic because they shoot such a high percentage. And overall, the Broncos are #1 in the conference, shooting 40% from the arc. And then they want to win the rebound battle. Both really good rebounding teams. And then San Diego State just doesn't want to rely on jumper after jumper. They want to get in the paint and score a bunch of paint points in this game.
Both these teams do a lot of things well as Tapley fires away for 3 and has the miss. Talked about the three-point shooting of Boise State, top free throw shooting team. They'll try it from the outside. That would have gone for 2, but Marks is off the mark.
Well, Derek Marks has the green light anytime for this Bronco team. He's their leading scorer.
And another great entry pass, and O'Brien has another easy bucket.
Well, somehow in defensive transition, Boise State did not match up man for man, and J.J. O'Brien was, I mean, he was naked under the hoop.
Boise State yet to hit a field goal from a team that is second in the conference shooting. They shoot 46% behind only Air Force. Saw an assist there by Franklin. He had 6 of them on Saturday. Tapley had 6 as well. A lot of guys gutting it out for that underman team on Saturday. They'll try and rebound here today. The Broncos are 0 for 7 from the floor to start. Dremic drives in too hard. They're 0 for 8 and a foul underneath. And a hold. And they're going to get Chase Tapley for his first.
Well, so far, Steve, I mean, the Aztecs are doing a nice job defensively, as you see the layup on the miscommunication and bad transition defense by the Broncos, but they're giving up offensive rebounds. I mean, I believe that's 4 already, so they got to solve that.
I told you, Ryan Watkins second in the Mountain West Conference in offensive rebounding in 3 games. Shouldn't come as a surprise. He's actually had 10 in 1 game. And there's a backcourt violation against Boise State and a turnover. They look at a sink playing on the road here.
Well, at least that's a dead ball turnover. Now they can go set their defense. What they don't want is they don't want live turnovers, because San Diego State is great at taking your mistakes and converting them into quick points.
Aztecs coming off a 3-point loss on Saturday at Air Force. Boise State led wire to wire in a victory over UNLV at home on Saturday night. Here's Franklin. He's being guarded there by Drimic. Finds the entry pass to O'Brien, and he got fouled as he put it up from the low post.
And that's where we're talking about with paint points. And that's a really good job of J.J. O'Brien just cutting across the face of his man and getting an angle to the rim. And that's what San Diego State wants to do. They want to get inside the lane and not only score, draw contact, go to the foul line, etc. in tonight's game.
Here's our tail of the tape, what both teams bring into action here tonight. I'm worried about that Mountain West Conference. You see the 3 and 4 for Boise State, 4 and 3 for San Diego State. You have to figure the loser very well could bow out of the conference race earlier tonight. We shall see. Boise State still has not hit a field goal. 0 for 8 to start. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in. This is Aloriaga, their top 3-point shooter. Watkins had it a moment ago. He picked up the foul on the other end. They try and get it inside, and it's staying Boise State's way.
Well, Jamal Franklin saved a basket there with that deflection. He recovered defensively really well to save a bucket. So you can see Drimic with the one-hand pass, and Franklin comes over from the weak side, which you're supposed to do on rotation, really well, and knocked it out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds again by the Aztecs. Boise State has 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock here to fire off their 9th field goal attempt of the game. Thompson getting the start, and he'll make the first shot of the night for Boise State. He's in there for Igo Hadziomerovic, who didn't play against UNLV due to an injured foot, and then he got sick. He's on the trip. He's not playing here for Boise State. He's normally a starter at the 2-guard spot. Here's Rehan, his first field goal opportunity of the game. And a foul underneath. That time they're going to get the Aztecs. Jamal Franklin charged with his first personal. Jamal had a big game on Saturday. 4 assists shy of a triple-double. 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Is there another guy in the country that's 6'5", 6'6", that gets more double-doubles than Jamal Franklin? He's incredible.
Buckner, the senior center out of Washington, D.C., will convert. He's having another fantastic year. Although his shooting percentage down just a bit in conference play, only at 35%. He'll miss there. O'Brien with the offensive rebound, and the right-handed floater goes.
Those are the little things that J.J. O'Brien does to help his team win right there.
That was disrupted by Tapley, but Boise State still scores the bucket. Kenny Buckner, who's had back-to-back baskets now for Boise State.
Yeah, even though you score, you need to get back because Boise State's going to push it hard.
Rayhan knocks down a three.
And I'm glad to see James Rayhan right there come back and shoot another three. You know, the other one, his feet were set nicely, didn't quite go in, but that's it, James. Step right up and hit one.
3-point advantage for San Diego State. A miss by Dremick. He didn't miss often. 46% field goal shooter. Here's Rayhan driving the baseline. He got cut off down there by Jeff Oloriaga. Tapley right of the lane and lays it in.
We saw the first time he used that high on-ball screen, he went to the left. This time he took it to the right and chose to score himself.
Dremick on the other end, and we'll get it to fall.
You know, the Broncos doing a nice job off of the Aztecs makes and getting something good to look at early in the possession.
Rayhan will try it in the corner. Back-to-back threes for James Rayhan. Aztecs open up a 6-point advantage.
You always shoot better at home, right? And that's good for the Aztecs. They were 2 for 19 from 3 at the Air Force Academy, and now they're already to a hot start from the arc.
And James had both of them early in the second half. Boise State can score with the best of them. They lead the conference in scoring at 75.8 points per game. Thompson tries to feed it underneath to Bruckner, and it's out of bounds. It's staying Boise State's basketball. They'll have it when we return. With 7 to go on the shot clock, James Rayhan has knocked down a couple of threes, and the Aztecs lead it by 6.
When you hear Boise State University, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Forensic genetics, using the power of DNA to find the guilty, free the innocent.
Quorum sensing, of course.
The thermal ionization mass spectrometer from the Isotope Geology Lab.
Working with NASA to develop plasma micropropulsion devices for space exploration.
Nothing else comes to mind when you think of Boise State.
Duh. DNA nanotechnology.
Discover what goes on beyond the blue. Visit beyondtheblue.boisestate.edu.
Aztecs by 6 early on. Xavier Thames, as we had mentioned, out for the 4th time in conference play. And it's apparent, Brad Holland, they're a different team if they don't have the X factor in there.
The X-Man is so very important to the Aztecs. You know, he's their quarterback. You know, he understands the rhythm of the team. He knows when to push it, make something happen. He knows when to back it off. He knows which guy to get involved in the offense. And he's their best on-ball defender. So both sides of the ball, Xavier Thames is extremely important to the San Diego State attack, and they dearly miss him.
And Chase Tapley is playing. Entered that right wrist early in the New Mexico game. Didn't practice the week leading up to Air Force. Played against Air Force. 1 of 7 shooting, but did play great defense. Had 6 assists. As you see Buckner blow the jam right there. So it's good to see Tapley back in there, and he has made an early bucket. We'll keep our eye on that. Fell in the first half as well and took off the brace for the second half. Doesn't have the brace on today, just taped up. And there's a foul inside of the lane.
So far, I think San Diego State is playing with great purpose. You know, they're shooting the ball better. Rayhan with a couple threes. J.J. O'Brien is 3 for 3 so far with 6 points. They're mixing it up well, and they're looking to penetrate. They're looking to get in the lane. We've seen Chase Tapley used the ball screen up high really, really well and get the penetration. And right there, he got more penetration and drew the foul for 2 at the line.
That wrist was really bugging him on Saturday, and you could tell, and it looks a little more fluid, the motion. Looks like he's much, much better. Certainly not at 100%, but he looked 50% at Air Force. He looks about 80% here today.
Yeah, the coaches talking to them today, they've really felt that Chase Tapley's had a couple great days of practice coming into the game.
Thompson blew the lay-in. He was called for the foul on the other end. And there's going to be an Aztec foul called underneath. Winston Shepard gets called for his first. A lot of fouls early on. The team fouls were even at 5 apiece. San Diego State 6 of 9 shooting to start this game. And if you'll allow us for a moment to scoreboard watch, New Mexico put the finishing touches on Air Force. So Air Force gives back a game. Big win there, 81-58 at the Pitt in Albuquerque. A block shot there by the freshman Spencer, the team leader in blocks. Shepard now running the point. Done a nice job when pressed into point guard duties. I think back to the opener against Fresno State. His first career start. Rehan to an open Franklin. He thought about it. Cross court to Shepard. Puts it on the floor. Rehan, nothing there. Tapley, they're defending hard as Boise State. Rehan will try another 3 and make it.
You know, they showed just a little more patience in that extra pass to Rehan, the hot shooter.
An offensive rebound by Buckner and a putback after the missed shot. San Diego State on a 13-4 run. They've opened up a 9-point advantage.
Hey, if you're not making shots, you got to create second chance points, and the Broncos are doing a great job of that in the game. I mean, they're owning the offensive glass right now.
Rehan has made 3 threes already. Less than 10 minutes in. Jamal, and he got that one partially knocked away, and it's an Aztec turnover. Loriaga to try a 3, and he nails it. We told you, best 3-point shooting team in the Mountain West Conference. They're 10th nationally shooting threes.
And that was a big point of emphasis for the Aztecs in practice today, that they have got to run off a Loriaga off that 3-point line. So here's the block by Skylar Spencer, as Steve mentioned, leading the Aztecs in block shots. Great timing. And then down on the offensive end, from that possession, Rehan hits his 3rd 3.
Well, they do make 8 threes a game, and for a moment I had to pause to listen to who they are giving a standing ovation to here at Viejas Arena, and it's DJ Gay, the point guard from the 34-3 team of a couple of years ago that led the Aztecs to the Sweet 16. And there's DJ Gay, playing now professionally overseas.
Yeah, what a good point guard. What a good career he had. 105 wins as an Aztec, the most ever. Really good leader, clutch shot maker. He just had a wonderful career as an Aztec.
And that's Billy White to the right of him. Those two guys, the 2 winningest players in the Aztec program, with Chase Tapley 3rd, and a well-earned bucket there for Jamal Franklin, his first points of the night. Aztecs opening up an 8-point advantage over Boise State. It's a Boise State team that has beaten 2 ranked opponents already on the road this season. Good pass inside, and Thomas Bropley off the bench has his first made field goal tonight.
Yeah, Jamal Franklin got turned around and was facing the ball. He lost track of his man, and good delivery by the Broncos, but Jamal's a better defender than that.
Tapley with a bounce pass to Franklin, and O'Brien cleans up the mess.
He is. He's a bit of a garbage man now. He's not going to wow you with his stat line, but he does little things like that, as we talked about earlier, that, you know, that doesn't necessarily show up big time, but man, he helps you win in so many ways.
Dremick will try a 3 and a miss. He's wowing me with his stat line right now. He has 8 as he tries to get into double-figure scoring, O'Brien, for the 4th straight game. Never done that in his career.
You're easily impressed. We know that.
Here's Franklin, straightaway 3 off the back of the rim, and a rebound by Thomas Crowfly. O'Brien's played well offensively the last 3 games. First time in his career he's scored in double figures 3 straight games. Dremick with a kick. Boise State turnover. 9:43 to go, opening half of play. The Aztecs by 8 over Boise State. Well, on most nights, it's Boise State who's making a majority of the threes in a game. Tonight, it's the Aztecs' James Rehan, and that is a welcome sight for Aztec fans.
It really is. You know, he gets the start because Xavier Thames is out, and he's making the most of it. He's hit 3 threes so far. He's 3 for 4 from the arc, really giving the Aztec offense a lift.
You love to see it because he entered tonight 2 for his last 21 from beyond the arc. And tonight already 3 for 4 shooting threes. He had gone 4 straight games before hitting 2 threes in the second half on Saturday at Air Force.
Well, normally, you know, San Diego State heavily relies on Chase Tapley and Jamal Franklin for a majority of the scoring, especially with Thames out. But with J.J. O'Brien having 8 points so far.
There's Spencer, who scores off the pass from Franklin.
Again, San Diego State attacking off the dribble and getting that penetration and getting that ball in the lane has been very effective.
They had a ton of assists on Saturday against Air Force. Almost every one of their made field goals came off an assist. Feels like they're doing that again here tonight. 6 assists already for San Diego State on 10 made field goals. Coming up on 9 to go in the first half of play, a 10-point advantage, the first double-digit advantage of the night for San Diego State. 3 to shoot. Thompson has to hurry in the lane, gets it off with 1 to go and missed it. Boise State ice cold, less than 35% from the floor.
Well, let's make note of this too. With 8.5 minutes to go in this half, and their leading scorer, Derek Marks, is a goose egg so far.
Good point. Winston Shepard from the outside, and San Diego State has their 4th made 3 of the night. Here is Marks, who you spoke of, and he got fouled as he drove the lane and attacked the hoop. And they're not going to get Franklin. They wind up getting J.J. O'Brien. Break for the Aztecs.
And that's just a good find out of the post by J.J. O'Brien. And Winston Shepard, really not normally a 3-point shooter, but he was in rhythm. He stepped into his shot nicely, had great balance, and knocked it down.
13-point advantage for San Diego State, their biggest of the night, and Boise State with another missed shot. Started to tell you how they've beaten 2 ranked opponents already this season. At Creighton, they almost won at Michigan State. They wanted a ranked Wyoming team to open up conference play. Only 2 other teams in the country have beaten multiple ranked teams on the road. That would be Oregon and Kansas, so the Broncos are in pretty good company.
Yes, they are.
And Dremick hammers Jamal Franklin. Maybe saying, you know, I got hammered on Saturday against Mike Mosier. I'm going to play physical tonight on the road at San Diego State. Aztecs by 13. Aztecs by 13. It's starting to get chippy out there here in the first half. We just had Anthony Dremick nail Jamal Franklin right in front of the bench. And
yeah, a little shove in the back there. Definitely not a flagrant, but here's a flagrant. Here's a flagrant 2 by Mike Mosier of UNLV in this game Saturday. And you can see no play on the ball, went to the head area, a lot of contact. And Mosier, you know, that was big for UNLV from a negative standpoint because he got ejected and 2 free throws, and they made both free throws in that second half. So, but Dremick, he's a tough young fella back here tonight, ready to go to work.
San Diego State's going to get the basketball. They're shooting 68.8%. As we're inside of 8 minutes to go, they're 11 of 16 from the floor. They've made 4 threes without Xavier Thames, and Rehan makes it 2. Rehan in double figures with 11. The lead is 15, the largest of the night for San Diego State. Here's Dremick from the corner and another miss, but an offensive rebound by Watkins. Here's a kid that had 17 rebounds in a game against LSU, 18 in a game against Fresno State.
You know, right now, that's their best offense. Their best offense is going and getting the O boards and putting them back.
Great point. 10 of those rebounds, 10 of the 17 against LSU are the offensive variety. Here's O'Brien on the post and another easy make. Well, that's been there all night.
Well, this Aztec team is so unselfish. They really don't care who scores. They're willing to help each other, find each other. They're very open to making that extra pass, whatever it takes to win a game.
O'Brien slapped that one out of bounds. Deshaun Stevens will come back in. Chase Tapley will come back in as well. 10 now for O'Brien.
Nice roll on setting the ball screen by O'Brien. Poor defensive rotation coming over for the Broncos.
A Boise State team that normally averages 75.8 points per game, tops in the Mountain West Conference, has been held to 17 so far, with 6:49 and counting to go in the opening half of play. Marks got it back, kept it alive. Dremick with the drive and the kick out to Aloriaga, and another miss. Boise State, 1 of 5 shooting threes. Tapley in and out on the three, but O'Brien another offensive rebound. This is Shepard around to Aloriaga in the corner. Tapley has it. Still plenty of time to shoot. Chase averaging 14 points a game. Drives into the lane. Great dish to Stevens and one.
Well, you know a lot of their passes, they're leading to assists. They're leading to baskets. That shows you how good basketball they're playing right now. And they're doing it at the defensive end. They've had a ton of good defensive possessions to create some offense. So here's Tapley again. What did he do? He got in the lane. Drew the defense. He's done this at least 4 times already in this first half.
5 assists already for Chase Tapley. Just inside of 6 to go. Stevens to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play. And of course, Chase had 6 assists on Saturday at Air Force.
And no turnovers with a really hurt wrist. I mean, he played a nice game. He had trouble from the field shooting with that wrist, but played a good floor game.
And a huge steal at the end of the game that kept the Aztecs in it. Here's Shepard for 3. And that goes in and out. Well, I just thought that was going to fall. If that fell, Boise State might have got on the bus.
The show would have let him hear about it. Yeah.
Broncos need a basket. They're down 17 on Aloriaga. Around Rehan.
But see how they're making Aloriaga put it on the deck. They're not letting him measure shots. They got to make him a dribbler.
Defense has been outstanding for San Diego State. They're going to force another Boise State turnover. Shepard cross court to Rehan. He threw it too high, and a turnover for San Diego State. I think Rehan might have stepped on the out-of-bounds line across from us.
He also might have called an illegal offensive screen on J.J. O'Brien, and Coach Fisher's a little confused on what the call was.
See, our official is going to go to the scorekeeper right now. I didn't see the official signal the number 20. He did so. He did it pretty quick. Steve Fisher wants some clarification. I saw him hold up 2, but that's Thames' number. He's not in the game. He's in street clothes, so maybe he meant 20 O'Brien. You were right. Try and sort that out, figure it out here in a moment. Aloriaga, top three-point shooter, 47%, launches, and a foul on James Rehan. 3 free throws coming for Boise State.
I think his hand got caught in the cookie jar here. Doing a nice job, and then he reaches and hits him on the arm. The official thought it was enough contact to throw the great shooter that Loriaga is off a little bit. And so he'll get in the books now. He's a quality foul shooter, but that's his first point in this game. And so, again, San Diego State has really turned the heat up defensively. And, you know, getting great looks at the offensive end. So really overall, playing a really good game at both ends.
Much like the effort that they had against New Mexico, where they held the Lobos to 34 points. The shot clock era low in New Mexico Lobo history, and only 25% from the field. Loriaga missed 3 games with a concussion earlier this season, so Boise State has had some injury problems with one of their top players, and they lost all 3 of those games. They're going to have a foul. San Diego State wanted a turnover and a walk.
That's a very good call. I mean, Mikey Thompson right there. You know, it was inadvertent contact, but it was enough to knock, you know, Deshaun Stevens off of the short 17 area there.
Second on Mikey Thompson. Tapley with a penetration. And Loriaga with a rebound. Broncos in transition. And they'll finish on the other end with Kenny Buckner, the senior, who averages 6 points and 5 boards. He has 8. He's their leading scorer. I don't think you would expect Buckner to be the leading scorer this late in the first half.
And that's Boise State's first easy basket that the Aztecs have given up. They needed that.
Shepard misses the pull-up jumper. Buckner with a rebound. Back the other way comes Thompson. And Thompson drives in. And O'Brien thought he had the block. He gets called for the foul. That's the second on O'Brien. Break in the action. 3 minutes, 51 seconds to go. You be the judge. Was this a foul? Aztecs up 13. Well, the Boise State Broncos basketball program plays offense much like their football team does, but not so tonight, and credit the Aztecs on defense.
Correct. I mean, this is a high-powered offense now, I'm telling you, for Boise State. And you can see, you know, statistically, leading the conference in points scored, three-point percentage, free throw percentage, and second in field goal percentage overall. I mean, so the Aztecs, they're putting on them defensively now. You know, reminds me a little bit of the New Mexico game. When New Mexico came in here and San Diego State just said no, just shut them down. But what's different about this game is they're producing a lot more scoring at the offensive end.
Boise State just 1 of 6 shooting threes, and they're 9 of 28 from the floor. Remember, they started this game missing their first 8 shots in the first 3 minutes of the game. 32% from a team that shoots 46%, and is second behind only Air Force in the conference. Thompson is at the free throw line. He'll get another here. He averages 8.8 points per game. A 6'3" freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, getting the start over Igor Hadziomarovich, who is sick, made the trip but can't play.
Well, this is a very important quadrant, this last quadrant before the half for the Broncos. I mean, they need to take up some slack here, take up some gap, you know, this and cut into this lead and go in with a little momentum into the second half.
Yeah, they could use like a 6-0 run right here. Here's Stevens, hand off to Tapley. Tapley lost it, but a foul prior to him losing. And they're going to warn one of the coaches for Boise State. And that goes on Thomas Broplay, the junior from Denver. Here's the inbound to Rayhan. Fall away on the baseline, won't go. Empty possession for San Diego State. Let's see if Boise State can put together that run we talked about. From their offense, it only takes a couple of threes, and they're right back in it. Remick with a drive. They've had a tough time going in the lane here. Tapley back the other way. Tapley to Rayhan for 3. Loriaga has it. Remick with a drive, and Rayhan defending so well, getting back and knocking it out of bounds. What a disruptor.
And James Rayon's a good defender in his own right. He's doing it both ends, making threes, making some shots. And look how he came from that backside with the left hand perfectly, knocking the ball out of Drimmick's hand.
That's the one thing that a lot of people forget about with James Rayon. They like to look at the shooting, and it's certainly down, the worst of his career this year, 38%, 27% on threes, but he's one of their best defenders.
Well, you play for Steve Fisher, you better guard. You better guard people. That's a big part of what they do.
Bro play with a miss on a three. They're now 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. It's been a long time since they've had a game like this. Franklin gets it back. What great hustle. It squirts away from 3 defenders, and Franklin, he's on the ground. And it's going Boise State's way.
Yeah, this was a scrum. Guys are going for the ball, diving everywhere.
Looked like rugby from Ireland.
Looked like Buckner had it. Then look, Jamal had it. He got kind of hit in the head, and then he tried to deliver it there, and it went off of Drimmick there.
And that's why you hear a chorus of boos from the 12,414th, 18th consecutive sellout here at Viejas Arena. Loriaga being hassled by Rayhan. I think Steve Fisher wanted a 5-second call. Coming up on 2 to go, opening half of play. San Diego State with the 11-point lead, and Thompson buries the 3, and the lead is 8.
Yeah, the Aztecs might want to rethink that double ball screen right there of how they want to guard that with Mikey Thompson, because Tapley went under and got caught, and Thompson made him pay.
9-0 run for Boise State. So I talked about the run and them getting back into it by hitting a couple of threes. They got a big one there. Franklin got bumped by Drimmick, and that's going to be a blocking foul against Anthony Drimmick. That's the first on Drimmick. That's going to send Jamal Franklin to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He got to the free throw line 12 times on Saturday. At Air Force, he made 11 of 12.
Well, you know, Jamal Franklin is so aggressive, and he actually looks for contact. He wants contact. He wants to play off of contact, and he's really good at it.
He'll get a second. The lead is 9 for the Aztecs, who come in 25th in the coaches poll. They're out of the AP Top 25 poll, but they still remain ranked in one poll or another for the 26th straight week. Should not lose sight of that. You think back here a dozen years ago, there was no chance of making the top 100, let alone the top 25. Now it's the hottest ticket in town, and perhaps the best program on the West Coast. Buckner with a nice move.
The lone senior for this Bronco team's having himself a nice first half here.
He has
Kenny
10.
Buckner.
He's got 10. So a lot of unsuspecting scoring characters in this game for both sides. You get the 10 for Buckner, 10 for O'Brien.
Yeah, he just gets in that lane and says, I'm going to go up with the left-hand jump hook, and he's gotten his share of offensive rebounds. He's scored 10 and playing very spirited, and really the one bright spot so far for this Boise State team. And, you know, Leon Rice and his staff are doing a great job of building this program. You know, and Leon has talked about, I don't want to build a team, I want to build a program. And he's doing a great job of that through recruiting. He's got a lot of good young players that we just mentioned. He has one senior in Buckner, and everybody else is underclassmen. And so talking to him today, you know, he sort of implied, hey, we're good, we're competitive, but next year's our year. We have a chance to really compete night in and night out in the Mountain West.
And they're both teams, both programs staying in the Mountain West. We want to remind you, coming up at the half, the latest on the Lakers' Pau Gasol. We'll go around the Mountain West Conference, highlights and analysis. Perhaps the Lakers don't need to trade a big man because they're both injured now. They might not have any of them left.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they can't trade them. They're damaged goods right now.
Winners tonight in the Mountain West Conference. Fresno State knocked off UNLV at the Save Mart Center. And New Mexico 7-1 after beating Air Force in a battle for first place. Rayhan with a miss. It's an 8-point game inside of a minute to go. Big run by Boise State to end the first half of play. Has them right back in it.
That's what we talked about. They need to make a run, right? Feel good about themselves going into the second half. And here's another important offensive possession toward that.
Dremick with a nice move, and Dremick, it went in and out on him, but they got another offensive rebound. Shot clock is off. Dremick going to fire it away, in and out, and another offensive rebound by Buckner. Feeds Dremick, and he came up short. Let's see if the Aztecs can make him pay on the other end. Shot clock is off. Boise State 11 of 34 from the floor, 32%. Meantime, the Aztecs 14 of 27. Tapley with a left hand, scores it easily. And the Aztecs have reestablished a double-digit lead here at the half in front of a sellout crowd at Boise State.
You know, that's a big turnaround, Steve, right there. You know, that basket off a couple offensive rebounds the Broncos didn't get, and down the other end, San Diego State gets that basket. That's huge.
Yeah, instead of going into the half down 6, the Broncos are going into the half down 10 on the road to San Diego State.
I believe.
I believe that. I believe that.
I believe that we.
I believe that we. I believe that we will win. 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 I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
San Diego State completely turning things around on the Boise State Broncos here tonight after one half of play. San Diego State with a 10-point advantage. They've been up as many as 17. Credit the Aztec defense, Brad Holland, for getting them that 10-point lead.
Yeah, it's been a combination of really good defense and playing with great purpose on offense. And you saw Skylar Spencer with a block right there. He's got 3 blocks in this first half, 6 overall for the Aztecs, and just doing a nice job of making shooters into dribblers. Really good at keeping the ball in front of them. Dremick there having some problems, and just, you know, active hands, deflections, blocks, and a lot of good defensive possessions.
Derek Marks is the 4th leading scorer in the conference at 16-7 a game. He has 0 in the first 20 minutes. Back to San Diego after this. Aztecs doing to the Boise State Broncos what the Broncos normally do to their opponents. It's San Diego State, who is shooting up over 50% in this game, shooting 40% from beyond the arc, and the Aztecs with a 10-point advantage. Brad Holland, they've enjoyed as big as a 17-point advantage, and if you look to assists to made field goals in this game, they have 10 assists on 15 made field goals, like what they were doing on Saturday against the Air Force Falcons.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. I mean, they're playing with great purpose. They have a great game plan of trying to get into the paint a lot, not just settle for jumpers, but yet they're making some outside shots, which is opening up the penetration or vice versa. So you can see they're doing a good job with running off Loriaga defensively. And here, the Broncos got to solve this high on-ball screen that San Diego State with Chase Tapley has run so effectively 3 or 4 times in the first half. And Chase Tapley, how good a game is he having? He's their point guard tonight and replacing Xavier Thames, and just doing a wonderful job of taking the ball to the basket, getting penetration, creating shots for his teammates. Just a terrific floor game for Chase Tapley so far.
5 assists already for Tapley in 17 minutes. Boise State hanging around because of 10 offensive rebounds. We're back to Viejas Arena after this.
The Mountain West descends upon Las Vegas to crown a conference champion March 12th through 16th. It's where the impressive statistics and rankings are thrown out the window because anything can and will happen. Capacity crowds will leap from their seats as star student athletes lay it all on the line to punch a ticket to the dance. The 2013 Reese's Mountain West Men's and Women's Basketball Championships. Buy tickets at UNLVtickets.com or 866-388-FANS and be there to witness our legacy of excellence.
Despite not having Xavier Thames on the floor for the 4th time in conference, the Aztecs lead this one by 10 at the break as we check out the first half statistics. You look at the rebounding. How about the offensive rebounding for both teams? 15 already in the first half.
Well, trust me, that was talked about in the Aztec locker room, giving up 10 offensive rebounds. You know, the real need to, limit them on that and the second chance points. And then James Rahan, great first half, really gave his team a lift with 11 points, 9 of it coming from the three-point line. And then the senior, Buckner, with 10 important points, and Mikey Thompson. And really the story, Steve, for the Broncos, at least offensively, the negative story is Derek Marks has 0 points. Great defense by the Aztecs, but Derek Marks needs to go for about 15 in this second half for them to have a chance.
And Dremick is 2 for 12 from the floor and missed a lot of easy looks as well. Marks averages 16-7 a game. That's the 4th best in the conference. As a matter of fact, we have 3 of the top 5 scorers on the floor here for the two teams in the Mountain West Conference with Franklin, Marks, and Dremick, and really none of them have scored. It's been the guys you wouldn't suspect, the unusual suspects that are doing most of the heavy lifting for both their squads here.
But the good thing for the Aztecs is they are scoring without Jamal Franklin and not relying on him.
That's Watkins a miss, another offensive rebound for him. My goodness, that's their 11th already of the night. Dremick with a kick out. Mark still looking for his first points. Gets it underneath to Watkins, and he got it stripped away.
Jamal Franklin, that long arm of the law, reached in there and slapped it away.
Even though he has 4 points, he's defending just as hard as he did in that New Mexico Lobo game. Perhaps his best effort on the Mesa. .15 to shoot. Rahan with a drive, but he came up short. You think back to Boise State giving up that bucket at the end of the first half when they were able to cut that 17-point advantage down to 8 with that 9-0 lead, and they gave it away in the final 20 seconds. They could have been down 6. Instead, they're down 10.
You know, I'm a little surprised the Broncos haven't tried their zone defense, to try to limit Aztec penetration.
And Marks just still can't get it to fall. Fights for the offensive rebound, gets it back, and another miss for Marks. You got to be kidding me. Marks is 0 for 4. And Franklin runs right into Aloriaga, and he gets called for a block.
Yeah, for all their hustle, I'm talking about Boise State and getting those offensive boards, they have very little to show for it. They're not taking advantage of those second chance opportunities.
As we look at the first half, the second chance points were even at 6 apiece. 9 combined points for Franklin, Marks, and Dremick. I don't even want to start to count up the missed shots. I'm not that smart. Inbound to Stevens over Watkins, and the ball is loose. Tapley has it, open at the top of the key, and nails the jumper. Tapley with 8. Those 3 guys are 3 of 21 from the floor. Oh, I didn't add that up. Thanks to the guys in the truck. And the lead is back to 10 as Watkins scores. He's out of Reseda High School, Southern California, junior. Here's Franklin. Franklin puts it up, draws the foul. They're going to get Anthony Dremick. That's the second on Dremick.
Trust me when I tell you that I'm not trying to second-guess Leon Rice, okay? I mean, but they have got the Broncos so spread out, the Aztecs do, which is a credit to them, good spacing, and they're just beating them off the dribble time and time again. So that's why I'm saying this game is not out of hand. Maybe try a little zone, try to limit their penetration and force them to be more of a perimeter team. And just see how that goes.
And I would think the high ball screens that you would address, that's what's working for San Diego State, the dribble handoffs as well. Air Force did such a nice job on Saturday with that zone defense. It's a good point about Boise State not breaking it out here more in that first half.
Well, Boise State had a great defensive scheme going against UNLV. I mean, their zone helped them win that game.
They led wire to wire, and there's the first bucket of the basketball game for Derek Marks. And he's going to get a free throw out of it as well.
And, you know, he's a guy that can go off in the second half. They need him to. He can get 15, 18 points and really help his team. And this is his game. I mean, he's really good at going to the basket, pulling up, creating that space like we talked about in the open. I mean, he loves contact. He has no problem getting into his guy and creating that 2 or 3 foot space to get his shot off.
And he's normally terrific from the free throw line. Tops in the conference at 87%, 32nd nationally, and he misses. It's just not his night. Tremick just picked up his third. So this is interesting here. Decision time for Leon Reich. You get, you know, one of your leading scorers with 3 fouls, just under 17 to go in the second half, on the road, by the way. Boise State won on the road at Creighton and at Wyoming. Those were ranked teams. They almost won at Michigan State. They were leading inside of 4 minutes to go. That basket will not count. It's a foul against San Diego State and an offensive foul against J.J. O'Brien. That's the third on O'Brien.
Yeah, see how O'Brien continued his momentum when he should have jump stopped. If he would have done that fundamentally sound jump stop and dish it to Tapley, the Aztecs would have 3 more points.
And Loriaga looks like he's having a problem with the palm of his hand or the wrist there.
And that is his shooting hand. He's right-handed.
Yeah, and he's the top 3-point shooter in the league. He's just not found his stroke. As a matter of fact, he's only attempted 1 shot, 1 3. I mean, they've been on him like glue.
You know, Loriaga's a tough guy now. I mean, Leon Rice says he's one of the toughest kids he's ever coached.
He's capable of getting it going. He made 10 threes in a game against Corbin on December the 30th.
And look out. Derek Marks gets it going a little bit. You know, this is going to be a different game for the Broncos.
Aztecs trying to answer on the other end. They come up empty. The lead is 7. Coming up on 16 to go in the second half. Boise State is 3 and 4 in conference play. They don't win this, they're most likely out of the regular season championship chase. And that's a foul. It's going against San Diego State's Deshaun Stevens. Break in the action. Boise State will have the basketball when we come back. They're down 7. Aztecs lead it by 7, and Brad Holland, I think the Aztecs need to sweep at home and win 3 of their last 4 on the road to catch New Mexico. But winning on the road in this conference is awfully tough as you look at who's been able to win multiple games on the road so far as we reach the halfway point tonight.
Particularly this year. And, you know, it's that old saying, Steve, you know, you want to win your home games. You need to win your home games, and then you need to win your share on the road. And San Diego State's more incapable of doing that. And there's no doubt about that. You saw their tie with New Mexico so far with 2 road wins, and they've historically been a good team on the road, and they need to be coming up here.
Those numbers were prior to the start of action tonight as Loriaga misses his second 3. And we already saw that UNLV lost on the road tonight at Fresno State. So New Mexico and San Diego State are the only 2 teams in the conference to have 2 road wins in conference play. So it seems like everyone's just going to hold serve at home this entire season. Colorado State's up only 2 on the road at Nevada inside of 30 seconds to go. Keep our eye on that. Turnaround by Shepard, no good. Franklin with the offensive rebound, and he missed the putback.
Yeah, he kind of got stuck too far underneath the back of the backboard.
Big possession for Boise State. Marks got tied up and took an extra step because of the good defense by Tapley, who has a big smile on his face.
Here's Derek Marks. He is so strong with the ball. And quite frankly, I didn't see travel.
And the refs miss it with Cameron Williams on Saturday afternoon at Colorado Springs. Looked like he traveled on a couple of occasions. He got to the line at the end of the game. Franklin, and there's an offensive foul on Jamal.
That was a pretty amazing play because Drimmick tried to draw the charge the first time Jamal had it, and then Jamal got it back, and he drew it a second time. Watch, takes the charge, gets up, slides. I mean, that is awesome defense by Anthony Drimmick.
And remember, he's playing here in the second half early on with 3 personal fouls. Here's Marks. He'll pull up. That'll go for 2 if he hits it, and he most certainly does. He's starting to heat up here. He has 6, all 6 here in the opening 6 minutes of the second half. The lead by San Diego State is only 5. They were up 17 in the first half. It came with 5:58 to go. Franklin will try the straightaway 3 and bank it in.
You said straight away.
Franklin has 8. Trying to become the 3rd Aztec in double figures here tonight to join Rehan and O'Brien, who are yet to score in the second half. Tapley the disruptor there, but Boise State gets it back. Here's Marks. He'll try it again. Short. Rebound Franklin. They push it on transition. And a bounce pass to Tapley, and that's a Aztec turnover. That is their 6th of the evening.
It's easy to second guess, but anyway, here's Jamal Franklin with the straightaway bank. I'm sure he didn't intend to do that, but he'll take it.
ATM is open on that side of the court. 8-point Aztec lead. Boise State has the basketball. Drimmick to Marks, and Marks is going to turn it over. Aztecs will make a couple of substitutions when play is dead. O'Brien and Spencer will come back in. Franklin pull up from the left side, and another missed shot for Jamal Franklin. Marks can score. He can fill up the score sheet. He had 30 in a game, and there elects to pass and finds Drimmick. And we talked about them being the top scoring duo in the Mountain West Conference, and they're starting to heat up.
Well, they're starting to gain confidence now offensively, and their defense has picked up. You know, they're playing a lot more energy intensity right now.
This time they can cut the lead to 4. If Boise State gets a bucket, the Aztecs might need a timeout. They get a 3 here. They can be within 3. Marks will try it straight away, and it's good.
Yeah, well, Winston Shepard can't go underneath that ball screen. I mean, Derek Marks, he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he shoots threes he can make and shoots a super high percentage.
Well, Leon Rice has made the necessary adjustments. Marks is heating up, and the lead is 3. Derek Marks was held scoreless in the first half. He has 9 now in the first 7 minutes of the second half, and the Aztec lead is now just 3.
Yeah, he's figuring it out offensively now. Nice little give and go here, and a pull-up baseline on a little floater shot, and he is feeling it now. Little pull-up jumper in the mid-range game, and then a little penetration, one-handed pass to a great cut to the basket by Drimmick, and then, as we just said on that high on-ball screen, his defender goes under, and he's accurate from there. So you got to guard him out way outside on the arc, and then you got to try to keep him in front and not allow penetration, which is a tough task because Derek Marks is that good. He can give you a little bit of everything to think about offensively.
About 13 minutes ago, San Diego State had a 17-point advantage. It's now down to 3. They're facing some backcourt pressure. Boise State was picked to finish 8th in the conference this season. But Air Force was picked to finish 9th, so that should tell you all you need to know. Under 10 to shoot. Rehan's man falls down. Aloriaga, and he buries the open 3.
Yeah, just a little inadvertent contact there, and Rehan did the right thing. His man's on the ground. He's made a couple threes. And that was a big basket for San Diego State. I mean, they've been struggling a little bit offensively lately. They needed that one.
14 points for James Rehan, the leading scorer for San Diego State. Here's Marks from the baseline, in and out, just like was the story of Marks in the first half. O'Brien put it on the floor, recognized the double team, and gets it out. Here's Rehan. Why not? He's red hot. That time it just nicked the rim. It's out of bounds. It's going Boise State's way. James Rehan breaking the ankles of Boise State players here in this one. 6-point advantage for the Aztecs.
Our statistics tell the story. Our rankings speak for themselves. But our actions speak louder than words. Now, all around the country, Mountain West basketball is being heard. With elite coaches, student athletes, and programs. And while some like to talk a big game, we prefer to play it now. The Mountain West, a legacy of excellence.
We're the last thing going to the Mountain West Conference here tonight. Everything has gone final. And let's check out the action. UNLV, a loser on the road. Fresno State, I knew somebody was going to get knocked off by the Bulldogs, one of the big three, and it was UNLV at the Save Mart Center. Battle for first place at the pit. New Mexico with a big win over Air Force. Wyoming won the last Mountain West Conference regular season showdown between a non-conference team. And Colorado State just won at Nevada. A rare road win there. Colorado State, the only team on the road to win Mountain West Conference play outside of Wyoming in that non-conference game.
Well, nobody's playing better in the league than Colorado State.
Aztecs off the turnover to Franklin, and he got hammered. And that's going to be an intentional foul on Marks, who immediately goes over to offer his support to Franklin.
And at first blush, I think that's an excellent call. I don't think that Marks made much of a play on the ball, which you need to do. Good shovel pass, and you can see he just sort of tried to grab him. He wasn't trying to just...
They didn't go Mike Mosier on him.
No. But not a smart play by Marks at all. I mean, you know, let that one go. Let that one go. It makes no sense to try to grab him and do that sort of thing.
And the officials are huddled near the Aztec bench, and they're going to come over and they're going to look at the monitor. And
well, what they're doing, Steve, is it a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2? And it's going to be a flagrant 1. It's not going to be a 2. There was a little bit of intent here, right? Not to let him score, but you can see right there with the grab and kind of push him a little bit in the small of the back that not making a play on the ball.
Bob Stafford, Eric Curry, Chris Rathstatter are our three-man crew from the Mountain West Conference.
And you can see that Derek Marks right there, he's like, uh-oh, and grabs him around the waist and tries to lessen his fall. Okay, so there's no way that will be a flagrant 2.
And a flagrant 2 would mean an ejection for Marks. We saw Mosier, we showed that to you earlier. Mike Mosier of UNLV the other night on Saturday at Boise State against Anthony Dremick. They called that a flagrant 2. Technical free throws awarded, the ball to Boise State, and then Mosier was out of the game.
Yeah, you can see Derek Marks is kind of waiting his fate, like, don't call a flagrant 2 on me. Keep me in this game. I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
I don't think he's going to get it. But our officials are taking an awful long time, and now they will have yet another conference, at least 2 of them. Aztecs, if they win, will get into a tie for 3rd place with Air Force. New Mexico still leading at 7-1. In a moment, we'll show you those Mountain West Conference standings a little later here in the second half. But first, we want to sort all this out.
And the official just, put up the number 1 sign as a flagrant 1. So,
in fact, a flagrant 1 against Marks.
2 free throws for Jamal Franklin and the ball out of bounds for the Aztecs.
3rd personal for Marks. 2 free throws coming here for Jamal to put the Aztecs up as many as 8. Jamal does not miss too many of them.
He doesn't. He's really struggling offensively. He just seems out of rhythm, out of sorts tonight. It happens to the best of players.
He's still defending hard. He's still rebounding. And he missed both of them. Remember, he was 11 of 12 on Saturday afternoon at the Air Force Academy.
Oh, no, he's a really good foul shooter. It's just so far tonight, it's not happening for him.
Marks comes to the bench. That's Dremick and Marks with 3 apiece, and Franklin lost the handle on it, and then there was a foul on Eloriaga, and he is down on the ground. And again, we talked about him in that palm that he was rubbing. It looks like he re-injured it here. That happened to Chase Tapley on Saturday afternoon at Air Force, and he just ditched his right brace.
Well, that's a microcosm right there of Jamal's game today. You see, he made a nice curl cut, what he should have done, and then he doesn't catch the ball, and Eloriaga is in a lot of pain, and we talked about what a tough young man he is, and it is his shooting hand, and like you said, Steve, it looks like it's in the palm, not his wrist.
Part of the reason why he's only taken 2 shots in the game, and he's 0 for 2. Again, he's made as many as 10 3-pointers in a game. By the way, Jamal Franklin goes to the bench with his 3rd personal, and note that inside of 11 minutes to go. Thompson launches away a 3 and hits it.
Yeah, again, what did San Diego State do? What did the guard do? Winston Shepard at this point, he went behind that ball screen, and that hasn't worked out for the Aztecs because from the top of the key, Boise State's been tough.
Back to a 3-point advantage for San Diego State. Boise State has never led. We've had 2 ties. They were early on. Aztecs have been up by as many as 17, trying to do all this without Xavier Thames for the 4th time in conference play.
But that player right there, Chase Tapley, he's taken on the challenge. And you're going to see Winston Shepard go under Buckner right there, and just that little move defensively allowed enough space for Mikey Thompson to measure that shot.
Buckner got called for the foul. Tapley to the free throw line, where tonight San Diego State is 5 of 11, make it 5 of 12. Marks, that was the briefest of breaks with 3 fouls. He was off the floor for all of about 25 seconds. Tapley got the 2nd. San Diego State's lead is 4. Almost exactly halfway home in the 2nd half. Boise State with road victories against Creighton and Wyoming. Thompson drives in too hard. He's getting the start for Igor Hadziomarovic. Can't play because he's sick. He normally would start at that 2-guard spot. Shepard now at the point against Eloriaga. Drives in, almost lost it, tried to get it to O'Brien. Spencer ran it down to the corner, and then he turned it over. Here's Marks, pull up, it'll go for 2. And Rehan just got hit on the shoulder, and that's going to be another foul. Looks like on Buckner. That's going to be the 4th, or no, Dremick. They're going to get Dremick for his 4th.
That was really fortuitous for the Aztecs because Derek Marks made a really nice move off the dribble, had a wide open look, didn't knock it down, and then the result of that, it caused Dremick his 4th foul. I mean, that's a big turnaround.
Yeah, 9:19 to go, and the Aztecs up 4, and Dremick to the bench. And he averages 16-3 a night, 5th highest scoring average in the conference. Guy who scored 34 points in a game against LSU earlier this season. And Rehan on the spin move got fouled, and Jeff Eloriaga whistled for the infraction.
Yeah, and San Diego State, Leon Rice, as you look at him, he's going, wow, they're in the bonus already? So San Diego State going to the line now every time and need to shoot a better percentage from the stripe.
Yeah, although that might not be a bad thing here. They're shooting only 46%. Even less than that might not be a bad thing for Boise State. San Diego State 6 of 13 at the free throw line. This harkens back to the opening games against Syracuse and the struggles that they had in November. Eloriaga feeds the post down to Watkins, and Watkins had it stripped away. 8.5 to go. Tapley will try it for 3 and missed. Shepard got the offensive rebound on the putback. Wow. Oh, wow. The freshman from Finlay Prep with a big bucket. He has 5 and timeout Boise State.
I think that's a good timeout by Leon Rice. Kind of gather his team together and figure out what they want to do offensively here. Chase Tapley coming off that high on ball, and then look at that. I mean, one-handed grab out of the air by Winston Shepard, crashing the O boards hard. He maintains control, and then, I mean, he was way under the backboard there.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and angled his body way out. I mean, that was a heck of a play.
He's growing up in a hurry. Averaged 5.5 and 3.7 boards per game overall, but in Mountain West Conference play up to nearly 8 points per game and 5 rebounds a game for Shepard. Let's update the Mountain West Conference standings. This is hot off the presses here because the Colorado State game just went final. And the Aztecs, if they win, can pull even for 3rd place with Air Force. They'd still be, what, 2 games behind New Mexico and just a game behind Colorado State. They still have to go to Colorado State. They still have to go to New Mexico. And they still have Air Force at their place in March.
But it keeps them in the ballpark. Yep. You know, they're right there. Then they got to win, you know, again, their share of road contests and take care of the home court.
So they could be in good shape if they take care of business at home this week. Boise State tonight, Fresno State on Saturday afternoon. 8 minutes to go. No-look pass from Marks to Thompson, and he got blocked by the freshman Spencer.
I'm so impressed with Skylar Spencer, a freshman. I mean, he's playing defense like a senior. I mean, he has such a great ability on timing and blocking a shot without fouling.
A moment ago, I talked about freshman Winston Shepard growing up as we get into conference play, having better numbers. How about Skylar Spencer, fellow freshman? 4 blocks here tonight, given 32 for the season.
Well, what you really appreciate about Skylar Spencer is he understands his role. He doesn't try to do too much offensively, but man, does he play defense. I mean, talking to the coaches today, he's always locked in defensively, how he can help his team. And as you said, 4 blocks. He's been very productive tonight on the defensive end.
He matches a career high at 4 in the Point Loma Nazarene game back in December. But certainly the level of competition has been stepped up here tonight. Not to take anything away from Bill Carr's fine program. Throw play for 3, and they're hanging around. Now they're within 3.
Nothing's better for a coach when you call a timeout and you have a play, you draw it up, and it works to perfection.
Again, Boise State makes on average 8 threes a game, a shade under what Air Force does. Tapley in the lane with a right hand. Offensive rebound, Rayhan, and he fires it away and makes it. He's got 16 to lead all scores. Wasting no time pulling the trigger there. 5-point advantage for San Diego State. Marks with a drive. Got it back. Little hesitation on the 3 there. Coming up on 10 to shoot. Thompson around the screen. He'll shoot another 3 and make it. Oh, my goodness. It's even tighter. They're within 2.
Yeah, that's the second time Mikey Thompson's, you know, made a 3 off that ball screen. And again, San Diego State just having real difficult guarding that.
Thompson has 13. And a foul on Thomas Broplay. Well, one thing we can count on is Jamal Franklin finding a way to the free throw line the rest of the way out.
Yeah, you can see that Mikey Thompson just needed a little space, and good screen right there by Ryan Watkins up top. Just gave him enough room to get that shot off.
San Diego State now 3 for 8 here in the second half from the free throw line, and they're 7 of 15 overall tonight. Deshaun Stevens comes back in. Skylar Spencer will sit on the bench. Exactly 6.5 to go. The lead is 4 for San Diego State. Franklin has 10. 3 Aztecs in double figures here tonight. Rehan, O'Brien, and Franklin. Now they need a defensive stop. Marks has it. Baseline left. Shakes Rehan and gets the basket and the foul.
He likes that one, doesn't he? Kid out of the Chicago area. He's a good-looking sophomore player, boy. He is so strong, and Rehan a little bit slow on the switch. He gets him running toward the baseline, and that's where Derek Marks is so good. He can absolutely stop on a dime with that mid-range game, and he's very accurate.
Again, the best free throw shooter in the conference, but he's 0 for 1 tonight. He is 1 for 2. Completes the three-point play. It's a 1-point game. This season, Mark scored 35 at Creighton, 30 against Fresno State. And in this one, Marks has a dozen. Tapley drives into the left hand too hard. It's Watkins with a rebound.
And the Aztecs continue to struggle offensively.
They led by 17 with 5:58 to go in the first half of play. A Boise State bucket right here, and the Broncos will take their first lead of the game. Marks will shoot the 3 and make it, and there it is. Boise State's first lead of the game comes with 5:39 to go. They lead by 2, and they're doing it with Dremick on the bench with all those fouls, and the Aztecs with an empty possession.
Go back to it. Go back to that play. I mean, they're wearing out that high on-ball screen. I mean, they're wearing the Aztecs out. They should run it again.
Dremick with the 4 personals.
There it is.
Coming up on 5 to go.
Yeah, and I like what San Diego State's doing a little differently now. They're bringing the big defender, which is Deshaun Stevens, up a little bit more to help hedge off of that on-ball screen.
They just got Watkins for an elbow. So he picks up his second. The Aztecs get it back, and this time down the floor they can equalize. Boise State has had 1 lead. It took the Broncos 34 minutes of basketball to finally establish it. Told you they're good on the road. Franklin, great pass underneath to Stevens, and he gets it over Thompson. They got the mismatch underneath that they wanted. Back even. This place is erupting. The Broncos possess the basketball, and they're trying to score in front of the show. Marks with a pass to Watkins, splits the double team and gets it to fall. Dremick and Buckner are going to come back in, Brad, when play is dead.
This game is on. The Broncos are playing way better this second half, not only offensively, but defensively as well. Every possession now is so critical.
Here's Franklin driving. Franklin with a reverse. Jamal has a dozen. We're even at 58.
What I like right there is Jamal Franklin took his time. You know, he got near the basket. He didn't rush it and just burp up a shot. He played with purpose and made sure the defenser flew by and knocked it down.
Boise State running some of that motion you talked about. Here's Marks against Tapley. This is a good matchup right here. Marks goes left, dish out, Thompson open for 3, and he got it.
Wow, the freshman, Mikey Thompson from Las Vegas, coming up huge in this game. That's his 3rd 3. Unexpected for the Broncos, I think, but welcome.
And a timeout by Steve Fisher and the Aztecs. And Mikey Thompson's a guy that wasn't supposed to play as many minutes in this game. He's only playing because Igor Hadziomarovic came up with the flu.
Good reversal there by Jamal Franklin, and then Derek Marks, the penetrator that he is, creator that he is, got a wide open shot for Mikey Thompson.
Boise State couldn't make a 3 in the first half of play. They were 2 of 9. They're now 8 of 16 for the game.
The Aztecs were on track with their goal. You know, they wanted 5 threes or less. That's what their goal was in terms of limiting Boise State, but now Boise State's well over that with 8.
Boise State has gotten back into this one, making 6 of 7 threes here in the second half. And Thompson has 16 points. He's made 4 of 5 threes. So a 3-point advantage for the Boise State Broncos. Jerry Palm of CBSSports.com projects the Broncos as a 12 seed in the NCAA tournament. Their RPI 51 coming in. CBS Sports projecting San Diego State as a 5 seed. They certainly need to win this game to hang around in the Mountain West Conference race. They can pull into a tie for 3rd with Air Force if they get it done here. Rayhan with a pull-up jumper from the free throw line, a miss, and a rebound for Boise State.
Here's that false motion. Just kind of pass the ball around side to side, and then they get into what they really want to get into. Little handoff there, and now it's on.
Marks this time against O'Brien, tries to take him off the dribble.
Yeah, what they're doing with Marks, they're just isolating him and letting him go to work. He's either going to score or penetrate and dish.
He misses that time. Stevens with the important rebound for San Diego State. They need a bucket now, coming up on 2 to go. Timeout. Steve Fisher and the Aztecs will spend another one.
I love that timeout, Steve, and I'll tell you why. Because he needs to get Chase Tapley back in the game. So don't go through this other offensive possession without him. Call timeout, get him in the game, and let's drop a play.
They're going to use a full, and San Diego State will have 2 left. Well, the reason why they've come back has been the hot shooting of Mikey Thompson here, the 6'3" freshman from Las Vegas. Normally averages 8.8 a game, and Thompson has 16.
Yeah, you know, the Aztecs have done a pretty nice job, particularly in the first half on a Loriaga, Drimmick. Marks has gone off a little bit in the second half. So Mikey Thompson is sort of the unexpected hero right now for this Bronco team. This freshman from Las Vegas has really stepped up and knocked down some key shots.
So you talked about taking this timeout here more than anything to get Chase Tapley back into the ballgame. What is Steve Fisher with the full timeout right now? He's extended it from a short timeout to a long timeout to the full. What's he telling his crew right now?
He wants to get organized for this last 2 minutes and just talk to his team about what the game plan is moving forward here. But more than anything was get Tapley in the game and now take advantage of a little rest, okay? And let's really execute a play and get a basket right here, a much-needed basket.
If Boise State wins this, they'll pull into a tie for 5th place. Actually, a tie for 4th place with San Diego State. UNLV lost at Fresno State, so they dropped to 4 and 4. If the Aztecs can't pull it out, they'll be 4 and 4 along with Boise State. And that log jam would remain there in 4th place, but they'd be 3 full games back of New Mexico at the turn as they go down the backstretch, the final 8.
What's working against the Aztecs is the Broncos have won a couple of key road games. You know, we talked about that earlier. They know how to win on the road.
Yep.
They beat Creighton by 13 on the road, then won at Wyoming when Wyoming's ranked 25th in the nation. So this is a battle to the end now.
Only Oregon and Kansas, the only other teams in the country who have knocked off multiple ranked teams. And if Boise State gets it done, it'll be their 3rd this season. They'll lead that category across the country. And they should have won at Michigan State earlier this season. 5 to shoot. Tapley to Franklin. Franklin drives in, kicks out to Tapley to Rayhan for an important 3. A miss and an offensive rebound by O'Brien. Putback won't go. Tip won't go. Off of a Boise State player out of bounds. Aztecs will keep it.
Really good job by San Diego State of crashing the O-boards and getting themselves another possession.
That possession will come after we come back. Don't go anywhere. Aztecs down 3. Crowd has pumped up the show. Showing up in force, trying to will the Aztecs to victory like they have in this building so many times before. We revisit the Mountain West Conference standings, and for San Diego State, win, you move into a tie for 3rd place with Air Force. Lose, and there's going to be a three-way tie for fourth place between San Diego State, UNLV, and Boise State. Aztecs have it. Fresh 35-second shot clock. Xavier Thames hasn't played. And a foul. And it is going against Derek Marks. That is going to be the fourth on Marks. San Diego State going to go to the free throw line now. The rest of the way out for 2 shots. Here's Winston Shepard to the free throw line. Again, San Diego State has struggled at the line in this game. There's 68% free throw shooters this season, and Shepard misses the first.
They're 8 for 17 now, and if they don't get this one done, they can look right to that stat line. That free throws that'll cost them this game.
Shepard missed them both. Buckner with a rebound. 3-point advantage, 90 seconds to go for Boise State. Broncos have never beaten San Diego State. They're 0-4 lifetime. Again, if it gets into the situation where you have to put Boise State on the free throw line, they're tops in the conference. 75%. 5 to shoot. No foul called as Marks got it off. Here come the Aztecs trying to attack inside of a minute to go, and they turn it over on the pass from Shepard to Franklin. They got a little too fast there, and they didn't need to be.
Now there's Winston Shepard driving, and he thought obviously that Franklin would continue on to the corner, but Franklin stopped.
10th turnover of the game for San Diego State. That's where Steve Fisher wants his team to be. 10 or fewer turnovers. That one is costly.
Well, if Boise State scores right here, they're going to be in control of this game. San Diego State needs to stop badly.
The difference between the shot clock and the game clock is 19 seconds. Here's Thompson. Thompson fires it up. Missed. Ball is loose. Run down by Dremick. And the shot clock expires since it didn't hit iron. And the Aztecs get a reprieve with 19.3 to go. They'll have the basketball. Now how do you attack it down 3? In the exact same situation, I might add, that they were in on Saturday at Air Force.
Well, I mean, right now, they need to score. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 3. If they can penetrate and get a quick 2, put the press on, foul, stop the clock, then so be it. But if they work it around a little bit, take a little time off the clock, then they do need to shoot a 3 and then crash the O-glass. So it all comes down really to this possession.
Boise State has come back with an explosive second half shooting 3s. Missing just 2 shots from beyond the arc. So, as we mentioned, exact same situation the Aztecs were in.
Yeah.
They had it, if I recall, on Saturday with 19.1 to go. They brought it into the front court, called a timeout so they could inbound in front of their basket. This time they'll inbound in the backcourt. They'll have 1 timeout left. And Franklin tried the 3, missed on Saturday. O'Brien, the offensive rebound, and he had the wherewithal to kick it out to Rayhan, and his 3 at the buzzer went off the back of the rim, and the Aztecs dropped it by 3 at Air Force. See if there's a different outcome here tonight. They'll inbound to Franklin. Franklin driving in. Franklin off the glass, gets it. That's a great move there with 13.5 to go. Aztecs within 1, and now they'll start the fouling game.
Yeah, the Aztecs got what they wanted. They wanted a quick 2. You saw that. Then they got, into a trap situation, trapped the Broncos, and created the foul. But here, coast to coast, Jamal Franklin. Might have been a travel. Might have been.
75% free throw shooting for the Broncos. Tops in the Mountain West Conference. This is Marks, best free throw shooter in the conference. He'll get a second. They were 26 for 26 at the charity stripe on January the 23rd against Fresno State. That was not only a school record, but a Mountain West Conference record. Marks leaves the door open. Aztecs need a 2 to tie. Here's Franklin driving in. Franklin to Tapley. He'll try the 3 for the lead. Yes! Back the other way. Thompson for the win. In and out.
Wow.
Oh, and the Aztecs survive. 63-62. Does that feel for Chase Tapley after what happened on Saturday in Colorado Springs with a sore right wrist? He might want to sprain that wrist more often. He's the hero tonight.
What an incredible finish.
Let's revisit again.
I mean, it's a scramble right there. Franklin's trying to penetrate and score. Fortunately, it kicks right out to a Tapley who's stepping into his shot on balance.
He was 1 of 5 shooting threes and picked the absolute perfect moment to hit it for San Diego State with 2.8 to go, and the Aztecs remain alive in the Mountain West Conference race. They got Uncle Mo on their side as they pull into a third-place tie with the Air Force Falcons. Let's revisit that final sequence one more time, Brad.
I mean, let's be honest, it didn't look good. Marks was at the line. He's a great foul shooter. They miss it. They run out. Fortuitously, it goes right to Tapley. And if you want anybody taking that shot for the Aztecs, it's Chase Tapley.
Tapley ends the night 4 of 12 shooting, 12 points, 5 assists. And the senior from Sacramento is now part of a 97th career win at San Diego State with DJ Gay and Billy White sitting courtside, who are 1 and 2 in wins here on the Mesa.
And you know what? I think his right wrist is okay. Oh, he had a really good floor game, as we talked about earlier. You know, playing point guard for his team. He's not a natural point guard. Xavier Thames out. He had a bunch of assists, made a lot of good decisions offensively, and then hits the big-time clutch shot for a much needed win.
Saved the $30 copay. You don't need to visit the doctor anymore, Mr. Tapley. Without Xavier Thames, the Aztecs get it done. Chase Tapley, the hero tonight, hitting the game-winning 3 with 2.8 to play. For our entire Time Warner crew and Brad Holland, I'm Steve Quist. Good night.